What is going on, New York Giants fans? We did it. We did it. I said we was going to do it. I had the score damn near close. I had us 28-21. We won 27-22. This team is for real. This team is for real. I am just pumped. I'm trying to contain myself, but it's so hard. It is so hard. The New York Giants are 4-1 for the first time since 2009. This team is for real. The Giants of London. Daniel Bloody Jones. That has a little ring to it. Let's get into this video, man. We got so much to talk about. Before we do that, if you're new to the channel, join the Hit Squad. We're almost at 500 subscribers. Leave a like as well as your thoughts on this video below. And don't forget to follow us on Twitter. We're always posting. The link is in the description box. This team is for real. If there was any doubt that this team was pretenders, they are not. For you to go into London and beat one of the best quarterbacks to ever play this game with all of the injuries, and we're going to talk about the injuries, but all of the injuries that the Giants have been facing, you got to give credit to coaching. You got to give credit to Saquon Barkley. You got to give credit to Daniel Jones for all you Daniel Jones doubters out there. You have to give credit to this team for constantly fighting, constantly playing tough. They're playing gritty. They're not quitting. They're not quitting on each other. They're not quitting. And it just they're back. It just brings it brings so much joy to my heart that I can't contain it. I'm trying, but I can't contain it. The Giants are winning with practice squad and third string players both on the offense and on the defensive side of the ball. Think about that. What is this offense going to look like when Kafka and Dable can get some stud wide receivers in there that can actually stay healthy? What is this defense going to look like when we can get a lockdown corner on the opposite side of Adoree Jackson? I'm pumped, man. I'm pumped. Let's talk about these injuries, man. Rookie DJ Davidson stepped out of the game. Cornerback Adoree Jackson, unfortunately, had to leave the game with a knee injury as well as a neck injury. You hope it's not too serious, man. I mean, this guy was an important part of our defense and played tremendous up until this very injury. He had a nice tackle in this game. Got to give a lot of credit to Wink for coaching this guy up. Saquon Barkley. Now, Saquon, I was personally just holding my breath. Seeing Saquon go to the sidelines, going into that blue medical tent, because, you just think of how well this guy has been playing. You think of the injuries he's dealt with in the past. I mean, very scary situation. But he came back and put this team on his shoulders when he had to. Offensive lineman Ben Bredesen out. Fabian Moreau, quarterback, out. Fullback slash tight end Chris Myrick was out with an ankle. This team's just been rattled with injuries. They have to be one of, if not the most injured team in this league. They have to be. And if they're not, God bless the team that is. Because the Giants have to be a top two, top three injured team in this league. And they're still winning. They're still winning. Let's get into this, man. Saquon Barkley. That man is on a mission. Stop playing with that man. He's not bad for a mascot, is he? Yeah, y'all know who I'm talking about. This guy's on a mission. He deserves MVP consideration. I mean, we're talking about an all-pro, Pro Bowl season. I mean, this dude is just looking insane right now. He is looking insane. 106 yards through scrimmage. I mean, he really carried this offense, as well as Daniel Jones, who we're going to talk about in just a little bit. He had a big play out of the Wildcat formation. He had a big play off of Daniel Jones that really, he just took Darnell Savage's ankles, man. Just took them, sold them on the flea market. I mean, he just destroyed Darnell Savage for a huge game in a crucial moment that the Giants needed to get back into the game. What does he do? Daniel Jones and crew lead them down the field. Saquon Barkley out of the Wildcat again takes it in the end zone. MVP consideration, man. I mean, what player in the league right now, outside of maybe Lamar Jackson, is playing up to the level of Saquon Barkley and putting a team on his shoulders in the way that Saquon Barkley is? Saquon Barkley is literally this entire offense. He's this entire offense. Today, we saw some players step up that we needed to see step up. But outside of that, he's our offense, man. And I got to give a lot of credit to this dude. Has come back through constant injuries, but he's looking for real. He's looking better than ever. So shout out Saquon Barkley, man. I mean, he is really on one, man. Darius Slayton. Darius Slayton was playing for his career. I've been very hard on Darius Slayton. I have no issue stating that. The record shows. I've been very hard on Darius Slayton. But he proved me wrong today, man. He proved me wrong. In my honest opinion, he's got to be the wide receiver one going forward. I can't trust Kadarius Toney as much as I love him. I sure as hell can't trust Kenny Galladay. So, looking at our wide receiver situation, Darius Slayton got to be our number one. And I'm okay with that. You know why? Because we saw flashes of rookie Darius Slayton in this game. I mean, he was creating separation. He was getting downfield. He was creating big plays. I mean, he drew holding penalties. The defense respected Darius Slayton today, and he earned my respect. He really did, man. I mean, this is the kind of game that you go out and you prove your doubters wrong, man. I mean, he had a first down conversion where he took a big hit, spun out of it, crawled to that first down and picked it up. Love to see it, man. I mean, these are the kind of things we need to see. Next man up mentality. I mean, I was very worried about this wide receiver core going into this game. In my last video, I said Richie James, David Sills, and Darius Slayton, that being your starting wide receivers. Don't got a lot of faith in it. But, hey, Slayton proved me wrong. I got no problems eating that. Did what he had to do, and ultimately, we got the dub. Now, let's talk about the man of the hour, Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones is one hell of a player. This kid is tough. He threw for over 200 yards today for the first time this season. He took a lot of hits, some that I thought he shouldn't have taken, but hey, he took them. He got right back up. He played with a bloody hand. I mean, this guy really, he lays it all on the field. Sometimes you don't want to see him do it, but he does it anyways, and he puts his team on the field, whether that's with his legs, whether that's with his arms. I mean, doubt it or not, you can't doubt his toughness. You can't doubt his willingness to go out there and put it all on the field, especially when we needed him most. These are the kind of games that you prove to your franchise that you are that guy and that you deserve another contract with this team. Now, we'll talk about Daniel Jones's future another time, but for right now, he played an excellent game today, carried the team when he had to, laid it all out on the field. I mean, whether he was picking up first downs with his legs, whether he was finding his tight ends or wide receivers to pick up first downs or to create big plays, I mean, he did it all today. I got to give him a lot of credit, man. Got to give him a lot of credit, especially not only doing this with practice squad and third string receivers, doing this coming off of an ankle injury. Got to give him a lot of credit, man. Daniel Bellinger. Daniel Bellinger is a stud. I think he's going to be a nice piece for this offense going forward. I mean, he's looking good in the blocking game. He's looking good in the passing game. I mean, he had a nice TD. Credit Mike Kafka. I got to give a lot of credit to Mike Kafka. Maybe it's because we've had bad offensive play calling since 2016, but he's very creative with this play calling, especially in the red zone. I mean, these are things as Giants fans we've been dreaming to see, and now we're finally seeing it. So credit Kafka, but Daniel Bellinger is looking like a stud for this New York Giants team. I mean, he's a nice security blanket for Daniel Jones, and he's doing things that we really wanted to see with Evan Ingram. Unfortunately, that's just not how the cards went, but I'm very happy with the production we're getting out of this kid, man, especially for a rookie. Now, Wake Martindale, I mean, his defense, at first we couldn't get pressure on Aaron Rodgers. He was way too comfortable in this game. We're about to talk about that in a sec, but, ultimately, Wink's defense did what they had to do. When you look at the injuries, Fabian Moreau, Adoree Jackson, hey, next man up mentality. Our corners stepped up. They did what they had to. They didn't let up anything too crazy, but the quick passes were definitely killing this defense. Aaron Rodgers was definitely testing our corners, but hey, we got it done at the end of the day. Got to give a lot of credit to Wink Martindale. Dexter Lawrence is having another great game today. Had another sack, 3 on the year, coming off of a 2-sack game against the Chicago Bears. I mean, credit Wink Martindale, man. I mean, this defense is just carrying the mold that he brings, and you know that the Baltimore Ravens are missing this guy. Absolutely, they are missing this guy. So credit Wink Martindale, credit this whole coaching staff, man. This Giants team, they are better than ever. They are proving doubters wrong. And hey, the Giants, they have to be happy knowing that they found their guy finally. They find their head coach after 6 years. We finally did it. And man, it feels good. Now, let's talk about some cons here because while there's some great things to talk about, there's also some negative things to talk about too. Aaron Rodgers. Hey, I said in my last video, you're not going to be able to stop him, but at least frustrate him, at least try, to throw him off of his game, try to throw off the timing a little bit. And that's exactly what the Giants did at certain points. But for the most part, Aaron Rodgers, he was surgical. I mean, he was very comfortable. The quick passes, again, they were killing us. I mean, Randall Cobb was killing us out of the slot in the first half with 76 yards just in the first half. I mean, he was getting the ball out quick. He really did all he could. Now, there was definitely plays I'm sure Green Bay is going to want back, but ultimately, you got to give a lot of credit to the Giants defense for holding their own, especially on that fourth down play in the red zone. If that's not tipped, that's probably a touchdown. If anything, maybe a PI. Aaron Rodgers loves to go for those kind of plays. So, credit Aaron Rodgers. I mean, he's going to do what Aaron Rodgers does, but at the same time, hey, credit the New York Giants defense, man. They pulled off the unthinkable going against this man. Now, our defensive line in the first half was just it was invisible. I mean, we couldn't get to Aaron Rodgers. We weren't creating pressure. We couldn't stop the run game. Our linebackers were playing undisciplined. They weren't hitting their gaps properly, which caused some big plays by Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon. I stated in my last video, you're going to have to try to contain those two because, they're not like a Saquon Barkley, but they can get those big chunk plays. So, definitely want to see them improve on that considering that we're going to be playing a heavy run team in the Baltimore Ravens next week. But ultimately, hey, in the second half, they looked a lot better. They were getting to the quarterback. They were holding down receivers. They were stopping the run. Got to give a lot of credit to the adjustments that Wink Martindale and crew made in this game. Now, Green Bay's defense, I said it in the last video that they was going to get to the quarterback. Rashawn Gary was going to be a good test on Evan Neal. John Feliciano and Brent Bredesen were playing god-awful today, man, especially John Feliciano. That interior was getting torn up. I thought Andrew Thomas had a pretty good game today. I thought Evan Neal, for the most part, had a pretty good game today. But our interior, man, I mean, it is not looking good in the pass game. In the run game, it's a little bit different. But in the pass game, not so much. I hope that we can see at least Nick Gates at some point in the season because John Feliciano is clearly not the answer. So, there's only so much you can do. I mean, they stacked the box constantly to try to stop Saquon Barkley. They had a lot of times where they did stop Saquon Barkley. Let's be real. But, hey, Giants took advantage of what they could. And, there was definitely some plays that, the Giants are going to want to take back when they look at the film. We got to see better play from our offensive line, man. Because you're going to get DJ killed back there if they keep playing like this. But, hey, they did what they could. We got to see better play from John Feliciano. We're going to see who steps up in Ben Bredesen's place. Hopefully he's not out too long, if at all. But we'll definitely see. I thought, our first half offense was just very questionable. Kafka was calling too many screens. Some of the plays were a little predictable, trying to get the ball to Saquon Barkley. But again, this team just makes the proper adjustments in the second half. That's been the story of this season for the New York Giants. I mean, the first half, it's like they're asleep, and the second half, you might as well turn the game on because that's when the New York Giants are going to come on. And they just dominate week in and week out. The first half, you're just like, what's going on with this team? The second half comes out, and you're just like, who is this team? So, hey, I got to give a lot of credit to this coaching staff. Coaching matters, man. The New York Giants are 4-1, and it feels good. It feels so good to be 4-1, man. We did the unthinkable. We beat Aaron Rodgers and crew in London on the road. It feels good to be a Giants fan, man. The Giants are back. The Giants are back, man. And don't let anyone tell you otherwise. But we'll see you guys in the next video. Let us know your thoughts below. What did you think of this game? What were some plays or players that stood out to you today? What did you guys think of Daniel Jones's performance? Let us know your thoughts below, and we'll see you guys in the next video.